Hello everyone, the WA state election is tonight. I am doing a live stream with Anglo Election Insights and Sormon. I just wanted to do a quick prediction before the election actually starts. Sorry, I was meant to do this yesterday. I know we have these polls here that we got yesterday morning, which have the Labour Party ahead either 57.43 or 57.5 to 42.5. Unfortunately, I just ended up procrastinating and I never did the video. So here it is today, only a couple of short hours before polls close. It is obviously a bit later in the day for us in New South Wales versus those in WA. There's a 3 hour difference. But yeah, the live stream tonight will be at 9 p.m. We're going to start pretty early, and we're just going to sort of have a chat for a while. Anyway, so this is a prediction by WannonSurvivor, and I think he's mainly using how Labor did in the federal election as a way to sort of gauge how he thinks the coalition will do. So he basically thinks that the Liberal Party will win seats in the sort of west of the city, just a handful of seats, and the National Party will do all right for the regions. And then also the Liberal Party will pick up a seat in Murray Wellington. So, I mean, I should not say coalition because they're not actually in a coalition in WA. It's more like an alliance, and sometimes the WA Nationals actually consider getting into coalition with the Labor Party. I actually had an interesting run-in with Bet365 where they were calling the Liberals and Nationals the coalition, and I had to like message them and ask them like, what do you mean by coalition? Because they're not in an official coalition in the WA. Anyway, I'll discuss more of that story later tonight at the stream. So we also have the Australian elections forecast has changed their prediction a bit after we got those most recent polls. And it has the Labor Party winning 40 seats, the Liberal Party winning 14, and Nationals winning 4. And it has the Liberals and Nationals winning seats up to a margin of, it looks like 14.5% here in Kalamunda. So I think this prediction is actually pretty good for the Liberals and Nationals compared to WannonSurvivor's prediction. So, of course, I've sort of taken a middle ground in my own prediction where I've given the Liberal Party 10 and the Nationals 6. So I'll discuss a couple of my reasonings. So Murray Wellington, I just think the margin is probably a bit too big. It's like a margin of like 17%, something like that. And I guess I've tried to keep it sort of neat and tidy with the Liberals in their own little block here. Oh, including Vass, which is a seat that they currently have. I think it's the leader's seat. And then the Nationals here in their own block here. Sort of some hot takes. I think that South Perth will go to the Liberal Party. This is actually taking place in the federal seat of Swan, and that ABC article, which I've mentioned many times, shows that there is a lot of household stress in the seat of Swan. I've also given Riverton, which takes place in the seat of Tangney, federally to the Liberal Party. The margin in both of these seats is about 11%, so there should be enough of a swing for the Liberal Party to pick both of these up. And then my big hot take is Kingsley up here, simply because it does take place in the seat of Cowan, which also has some cost of living stresses. And I believe the margin, I think it's something like 16% or something. So it is pretty high. But this is just sort of my shot in the dark hot take. So that's one to keep an eye out. WannonSurvivor doesn't think it's going to go to the Liberals or Nationals. Also, Albany, the Liberals are the favourites to win this seat. Although I've given it to the Nationals simply because the Liberal candidate has run into a few gaffes about like abortion, stuff like that. He's a little bit controversial. So I've given it to the Nats just because I think the Nats will do pretty well this election, just due to the fact that they have a bit more notoriety now as the official opposition. And I've also given Geraldton to the Nats, where there is sort of like a three-cornered contest against the Nats, Labor, and Liberal. Labor Party currently hold the seat. So I've given all three of these sort of like rural seats to the Labor Party. WannonSurvivor thinks that mining seats should not swing as much as some of the other seats for Labor because the Labor Party have been pretty friendly to mining. I know there was that federal sort of tax credit given to mining in WA recently, which I assume is contributing to that. I really don't know that much about WA, but from just the low amount of information I have, this is the kind of thing I'm expecting. And so the Labour Party will easily hold majority government on 43 seats. So just going on to the upper house, I've reduced the number of seats I think the Liberal Party will get from 12 to 11 just because their primary vote has dipped a bit. And I've given both the Christians and the Libertarian Party one seat. And so this prediction sort of assumes there's going to be like this big collection of right-wing minor parties. Let's say like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you include the Nationals, 6 seats. So this sort of presumes like a left and right split of like 54-46 to the left. I think that's the proportion of 20 out of 37. I think it's about 54.5%. So I think that the left could win one more seat, in that the legalized cannabis party might steal a seat, maybe off of the Christians or the shooters. We might also see the Animal Justice Party get up, but I think that's quite unlikely. They're not as popular there as they are in, say, Victoria or New South Wales. But I think the Nationals are probably a shoe-in for 2 seats here. One Nation is a shoe-in for 1. Legalized cannabis will get at least 1. And the Libertarian Party, the Liberal Democrats, did not poll very well last election, but according to Anglo Election Insights, the WA Libertarians are quite strong, and so I've taken faith in him and I've given a seat to the Libertarians. His words were, if the Libertarians can't win in WA with that kind of quota, then where are they going to win, basically? So I think maybe they're more likely to win a seat than the shooters, fishers, and farmers, but I really don't know how popular they are. It just seems like there's going to be such a splintering of the right-wing minor party vote. That is sort of a trend that we have seen in Australia in the last couple of years. So I don't think a situation like this would be too unlikely. But I do think the Labour Party and the Greens will together hold a majority in the upper house. If not, they should easily be able to get it with the assistance of the legalized cannabis party. So yeah, just a short one today. I didn't want to go too much into depth because I'm already really late uploading this video. Again, the live stream will be tonight at 9 p.m. AEDT, 6 p.m. Western Australian time. I'll be with Anglo Elections Insights and Sormon. And results probably won't be coming in until around, I'd say, like between 10 and 10:30 AEDT, and then we have the pre-polls coming in at about 11. So it's going to go pretty late, it's going to go pretty long, but we'll have plenty of time to sort of have a big chat about the federal election, which probably won't be happening on April 12 anymore because of the cyclone, and maybe also talk about a couple of the sort of hot topic issues happening lately, and if the Labour Party are going to maintain this very recent trend where the federal polls have moved back to them. And I think also Dutton's sort of woes in the last week or two could actually have affected the WA polls a little bit too. I actually haven't been paying too much attention to the WA campaign. I might, if I get time, watch the leaders debate. I don't know how many there's been. I know there's been at least one, so that I'm a little bit more informed about what's going on in WA. Sorry for the impromptu nature of this video, but it's better than nothing, and thank you for watching. Goodbye, everyone.